We are SGOC Media, and this is the Quit Jerking Off Initiative.
Talk to us about your dad.
Yeah.
And how that experience with you helped lead you down or teach you the lessons that you have today.
Must have been a shaping time.
It was. You know, I think, all of us have best friends when we're growing up, right? And because, like, I think both of you, I lived so far away from our neighbors, and we were always so busy on that farm that I didn't have time to go, play high school football or do after sports or after school activities and stuff. I was always there, and just by virtue, and I hated it a lot, frankly, because I wasn't able to do the stuff my friends were doing. I wasn't wearing the clothes they were wearing, and showed up to school in an ugly old car, and quite embarrassing and stuff. But it was years later when I really realized that I was so attached to my dad. I learned everything from him because I was around him. He was a very giving individual. He was also a very stressed out guy, right? Because his family was losing everything. He bought his farm in 1965, a few years before I was born, for around $250 an acre. He sold it for over $2,500 an acre 10 years later and was broke. So we sold the farm, and my dad was quite proud that he got the family out and we had $20,000 or something, and that his kids could do what they wanted. And after that, we ran businesses. We ran 4 or 5 businesses. So that was the other thing too, is that I experienced small business. Like in my little town, if somebody, if other people needed horseshoes, then somebody started a business and created horseshoes, right? There wasn't no Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And there wasn't even like a good store with a lot of selection. So people just ran business. We made these big old apple crates for like 3 years, and I ran the business while he was sick in the hospital, on and on. Why did we make the apple crates? Because somebody else had an apple orchard and needed crates. Yeah. And it was a really good business. And we tried all kinds of crazy stuff that didn't work. But I was, really valued the fact that people just solved things. And everyone I knew worked. They all just, they did stuff. It wasn't just like, handing off our money to the guy who's going to manage our market money. And someday we're going to get to retire and we're going to be in this job we hate until we get there. It just wasn't the culture. So I went off to the Naval Academy, and my freshman year, so my point of going to the Naval Academy, by the way, instead of going to the University of Illinois where I had a scholarship, was that I wanted to show my dad that everything he did was worth it. Like he didn't just, his life was not just wasted. He lost his farm, and he has no money, because he created 2 kids that were going to be successful. And so the only reason I was going to this crazy place that I absolutely hated my freshman year, it was all hazing, I hated it. And I was definitely homesick, was to get through that and show him success. And then he dies in the middle of my freshman year. And I went home, and I would say half the people that I said goodbye to when I was leaving the Naval Academy, they were like, hey, have a good life. Like I had no intention of coming back. But I did. I really don't even remember now what caused me to do that. I remember it was during the funeral that somebody said something that got me turned around. I learned almost everything of importance from my dad. My mom was a wonderful lady. I just didn't spend as much time around her, and I just think little boys, adapt better with that. Like they relate better, right?